What's something that a lot of people are missing out on because they don't know about it? A night sky that's not light polluted. Even if you view through a telescope, there will be light reflected from mist in the air, and heated air will cause the sky to wobble. Also, your eyes will not get fully low light adapted either. That said, you can still get great views of the planets and the moon. Right now both Jupiter and Saturn are very easy to see. Mars and Venus should be too, but I haven't checked recently. And with 10x or higher binoculars, verified, you can see the 4 billion moons of Jupiter and get a hint of Saturn's rings. Just see too that you rest the binoculars on something solid so that it doesn't shake. Without light pollution you can easily see the Milky Way, nebulae and galaxies. Not so much in the middle of a city. I moved from the only stars at night, our airplane city, to holy cow, why didn't anybody tell me stars were actually real up in the mountains? And it made me cry the first night. It's not perfectly dark. There's still a tiny bit of light pollution, but I can see so many stars and it's magical. I love where I live now. It fits me perfectly. I feel like I live in my own perfectly tailored paradise. Can we pretend they are shooting stars? Free streaming movies and ebooks through library apps. My library has free museum passes for the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, the Colorado History Museum, and the Modern Art Museum. They also offer free passes to state parks. You can check out energy efficiency testing kits to test your house. There's a recording studio in the main library. I forget all the stuff, but the Denver library is probably the best place ever, and people don't really go enough. A library is 1000% underrated. I know startup entrepreneurs that wanted to rent an office space even though they could barely afford it in before COVID, so they would look more legit to clients. They're an animation studio / digital agency. I told them, if you need fast Wi-Fi and a space to do deep work without being interrupted, just use the library, man. Plus they have these conference rooms you can sign up for free that are always empty if they ever have to do a conference call. Libraries are the best. Entertainment from other countries. If you get into TV, movies, music, etc. from another country, it's like you open a whole new world of entertainment. Their local farmers market. So many people I've met have never been, and they truly don't know what they are missing out on, from produce to art to protein. So many things that are unique and worth trying and seeing. I found out that people on my local market buy their gear / fruits from the mall and sell at higher prices local eco product. Such disappointment. Yes, this is a thing. You can get a license to sell produce and then buy it from a wholesaler. Then you peddle it at the farmer's market and subtly imply you grew it, and people believe it because it's a farmer's market. Sigh. Scammers are the worst. And the worst part is, they are not technically doing anything wrong or illegal. It's just misleading and a tad dishonest. Signs. This is what's happening if a stall has a wide variety of out of season produce, or if you find a sticker on something. Sometimes they forget to take the stickers off. Thai food and authentic Mexican tacos. The local carniceria with a kitchen. Straight up some of the best damn tacos. I grew up in Africa and the UK, and as such had only experienced Old El Paso. We didn't even have Taco Bell over here until like 5 years ago. For our honeymoon, wife and I went to SoCal, parked at the hotel on the first night, and as it was late and we couldn't afford the kind of hotel where there's 24-hour room service, I offered the parking garage guy a cigarette while the wife checked us in and asked if he could recommend somewhere to grab a bite that would be open. Well, turns out his mother ran a place right around the corner. If we gave him a lift, he'd make sure we'd get a discount. It was a carniceria cum grocery store during the day, with a little family restaurant in the evening. Oh my good god. What amazing food. They loved that we could take Mexican levels of heat, and that our Spanish sounded really old fashioned to them. As we'd learned from holidaying in Spain, we did get that discount, but I think I tipped almost 50% anyway. Brilliant way to start off our honeymoon. The broiler function on your oven. Great for ribs, making s'mores, browning casseroles, toasting bread, creme brulee, melting / crisping cheese on baked ziti. Edit. Thanks for the likes. Here's a recipe for corn cheese under the broiler. Please try it. Mix plenty of shredded cheese, canned corn, seasoning, up to you, but I'll do an Italian blend with pepper and salt, and a little bit of mayo in a bowl. Mix all together well. Pour onto a flat skillet. Place under the broiler for maybe 10 minutes. Please watch for it to get crispy. Delicious and easy. Inspiration comes from a KBBQ side dish. I love my broiler, but I also fear my broiler. The difference between broiled and burnt is mere seconds. Try cracking the door ajar. Chefs do this if their oven runs hot. Everyone thinks Luxembourg is a boring place with just banks and law firms and nothing else. This couldn't be more wrong, and there's an area called Varden with a castle and a chairlift which is like a little fairy tale land. The pics on Google do not do it justice. But I live there and trust me, there is far more to this beautiful country than everyone assumes. Every time this question is posted we get the usual grab bag of baking, library, open source, Etsy. Never expected to see ducking Luxembourg on the list. Well done, sir. Well done. Baking/cooking. You wouldn't believe how much better homemade cookies or a homemade pizza tastes than what you'd buy. It takes some devotion and effort, but it's actually really fun, and making things makes you feel good. Close bracket. Cold dries your pizza dough, people. This means after you make the dough, stick it in the fridge for 3 to 5 days. It's a game changer. Step 1. Invent time travel to go back and tell myself 3 to 5 days ago I need pizza now. The advantages of free and open source software. Blender. I can't agree more. Due to me studies I have the full Autodesk pipeline will so their programs. Maya is one of them. Usually the cost for a single is $620. Just Maya. I still hate it. The program is full of bugs, crashes, and has a really bad UI. The UI may be good for people who have learnt it for years and know because of that where everything is and how to get the faster way to access it. But other than that, it's just shit and hard to learn. I didn't like Blender 4.2.8, but oh boy, since the 2.8 release I'm in ducking love. Never going back to Maya if I don't need to. Actually I just need to for an exam which is Maya exclusive. Stupid prof. And I had already 5 crashes with 7 hours of work. There are literally no tutorials. The community is small and just pros, and everything feels just so difficult to do. Blender isn't the best in results, but you can do everything with it in a good way. I honestly encourage everybody to learn this software, even if you are not into third, cause it's easy to learn, especially with the community, and you can do a lot more than just third modeling. Investing in retirement effectively. 70% of Americans do not currently do this. We know about it, we're just poor. Frozen grapes are the best summer snack. I love these for when you wake up at 5 AM at the part of sleep where you're boiling for no reason. The incredible high you get from doing something creative. I've experimented with drugs and I've drank a lot of alcohol, but none of those things could make me feel as great as I do when I'm able to write a lot and be happy with what I wrote within a short amount of time, or was finally able to do something on guitar that I was never able to do. Not just creative, but being productive also gives me an incredible high. How do you do this? I don't feel almost any accomplishment after being productive. The only thing on my mind is that there will only come more work/chores the next time. Music that isn't played on the radio. There's a boatload of good songs that the normal person has never heard of. Live music is so much different. I was invited to a private concert not long ago. I love music, but had not had the opportunity nor the money to access live music in years. Man, it was like immediate medicine to my soul. I really miss live music. Learning to save money. It really gives you a voice when it comes to negotiations with people. Which people, you ask? Literally everyone. It's the ultimate duck off because you have that safety net below should you run into assholes, including yourself. That drinking lots of water fixes a lot of problems. I had horrible acne during my teen years and half of my 20s. When I started drinking more water, my skin improved almost immediately. Google Flights. shows you the cheapest flights, and lets you pick your destination according to the fare. Skyscanner.com is better. Try search everywhere as a destination. It took us to Japan a couple years ago for $300 round trip. Where from? From Korea would be less impressive. Eating chocolate and plain potato chips together. Here in Japan there are many snacks that are just chocolate covered potato chips. I need this in my life. I really want to go on a trip to Japan and explore different cities and islands, and the culture is so interesting. Now chocolate covered chips is the new addition to my things to do in Japan list. Car washes. Not only does your car look better, you're also saving it from rust, especially if there's been salt on the road. If you're driving on salt, I'd advise giving your car a thorough wash every once in a while. I was like, why would there be salt on the roads? Then I remembered that thing that other countries have sometimes. I think you call it snow. Endorphin dump or runner's high. Run until you're tired and keep going. It will start to hurt. Keep going. Eventually your body will realize you're not giving up and flood you with natural painkillers, endorphins. You get a cold shiver. The hair in your neck stands up and all of a sudden you get an overwhelming sense of well-being, euphoria and strength. There is no feeling like it. I'm no stranger to unnatural highs, but this is up there with Molly. When you get a good hit, best of all it's free and no come down. Yeah, not everybody gets that. The only thing I feel after running is tired and a sensation of being glad it's over. I run 30 miles a week. I've been running like this for over 7 years. I've run 5 marathons. Never once have I experienced a runner's high. Kindness and communication. Quit drawing battle lines all the damn time. Talk to your neighbors, even the ones that don't look like you. You might be surprised how much we all have in common. I would, but my neighbor is a racist asshole. He goes out of the way to be rude to us and has a problem with all the non-Germans in the building. We are Indian, but he has a serious tiff going on with some Turkish people too. And he one time said all Eastern Europeans are just rude and careless. This was about a guy from Tunisia. When made aware of the fact, he said, who cares? It is all the same. Like, how in the world is Bulgaria and Tunisia the same? Question mark close bracket. We are friendly with our other neighbors though, but this jackass really frustrates me. Being angry is unhealthy, so you will probably survive him. Reading. Jokes on you I can't read. Is your name Jard, and are you 19? Frisbees. Or hell yeah. Sounds like a cliche, but being hugged, touched not for a sexual reason, sharing your fears and true emotions, being honest and open. Huge risk but bigger reward. Frozen pop bottle in a sock as a way to keep cool at night. I'm trying to spread the word. It's life changing. Or fill a tube sock with rice and tie it off. Conforms to your body better. There are a few songs I've listened to maybe a year or two ago that oh that sounds Nosy, and so I started learning about composition and mixing and started creating my own music. My opinion of that song changed to holy shit, this sounds bloody perfect. This mixing and composition is brilliant. Me point is that once you actually learn what goes into making pieces of art, you gain more appreciation for it and you're able to experience it in a completely different way. Adding half pinch of salt to chai. Half a pinch of salt to anything sweet is great. Salt flakes, even better. This may sound like a joke or silly, but love. I think some people either don't allow themselves to know love, they had shitty things happen to them, or they are too cynical to believe someone loves them. I genuinely believed I knew love and had been in love multiple times. I was twice divorced before I actually fell in love for the first time, and finally realized I had just been wrong all those years. Well, maybe I've been wrong my whole life. That'd be nice. The rest of the world seems to know this, but many Americans do not. The difference between a Hershey's bar and really good chocolate. I have heard this so many times. I have had chocolate from all over the world. Hershey's is definitely not the best. Not even close. However, I still enjoy one every once in a while. Maybe it is just good memories. But sometimes I just want a Hershey bar. Yay. Hershey's is good in its own way. It might not compare to other chocolates as the best chocolate taste/texture, but sometimes that's not what you're looking for. There's a lot of foods that people would love the taste of more if they just treated the food as if it was an entirely different type of food from the fancier/better versions. Kraft mac and cheese comes to mind. Playing an instrument. I grew up poor and in a poor school system and had little to no access to any extracurriculars. When I turned 18 and had some money, I just started buying instruments and they're so fun. Schools could really benefit from funding for things like this. They're great outlets. My middle school had a music program, but they boosted it in the worst way possible. Basically, instead of the band kids and the orchestra kids having a couple hours of their respective classes each week, they cut it down to just hours total each week. They also made choir a mandatory class with 2 hours each week. Sure, 2 hours of music class each week is great, but why is it ducking choir? If SRS questions, because it's cheaper than having to buy tens or hundreds of instruments. Electro swing music. It's so good. Go listen to some Caravan Palace, Caro Emerald or Tape 5. You're welcome. This genre single-handedly got me into actually listening to music. It might sound strange, but until I discovered it I just didn't listen to music. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.